A quiet move has started to take shape behind the scenes at Newcastle United, and although it hasn't been officially announced yet, it is already stirring anticipation among the most attentive fans. Something important is being planned internally, and this plan could have direct implications for one of the most contested positions in the squad. The name involved is well known to the Magpies, but what's truly coming promises to divide opinion among supporters and even touch the emotions of those who follow the club closely. This is no mere rumor, nor just an ordinary negotiation. The truth is that one of the squad's recent pillars may be nearing the end of his time here, and the potential replacement catches attention for a curious detail. He has already impressed none other than Alan Shearer, before revealing who might be arriving and who could be leaving. It's important to understand the current situation at St. James Park. The season is drawing to a close, and with it comes the inevitable squad reassessment. Which players truly delivered, who fell short, who could bring financial benefit to the club, and who simply no longer fits into Eddie Howe's plans. Amid these questions, one certainty is emerging. Changes are coming, and the midfield, despite having solid names like Bruno Guimaraes, Joelinton and Sandro Tonali, is where a strategic replacement could happen very soon. By the way, if you follow Newcastle closely and want to keep getting hot news like this, with insider info, reliable rumors and detailed analysis, subscribe to the channel. Your subscription allows us to keep bringing you this direct and exclusive content for you, the passionate Magpies fan. Plus, by subscribing you strengthen our community of supporters who live and breathe Newcastle every day. Now, let's move on because what follows is revealing. The possible departure in question is not exactly a surprise, but it still carries weight. Joe Willock, wearing number 28, is going through a delicate phase at the club. The midfielder, who once had shining moments under Eddie Howe's management, now faces a completely different reality. With heavy competition in his position and recurring injuries, Willock has lost ground. Crystal Palace, aware of this situation, has shown interest in signing him. That alone would be interesting news. But what really grabs attention is who Newcastle is considering as his replacement. And now, it's time to reveal the name that could soon be wearing the black and white shirt. According to information obtained by the Chronicle, Newcastle United was recently alerted to the situation of James McAtee, a Manchester City midfielder attracting the attention of several Premier League clubs. And it doesn't stop there. McAtee was offered to Newcastle on loan in January 2024. The 22-year-old impressed Alan Shearer after scoring a hat-trick against Salford in the FA Cup. And despite his talent, he has struggled to get minutes under Pep Guardiola. This opens a door Newcastle seems ready to walk through, especially considering Willock's current situation. McAtee is not just another promising youngster. He represents a strategic opportunity for Newcastle. With his contract nearing its end, the player could be sold at a low cost, which would mean pure profit for Manchester City, as he was developed in their academy. For Newcastle, it would be a golden chance to bring in a player with refined attacking traits, good game intelligence and a proven ability to decide matches. Furthermore, statistically, McAtee outperforms Willock in some key offensive metrics, like shots and goal involvements, despite having fewer starts. It is worth emphasizing that this information doesn't come from empty rumors. The source is the respected newspaper The Chronicle, which closely follows the club's backstage and has been accurate about other moves in the recent past. Newcastle's interest in McAtee is concrete, and the board is carefully weighing the cost-benefit of a potential swap between him and Willock. Of course, the final decision will depend on several factors: financial availability, City's willingness to sell, and mainly Eddie Howe's strategy for the upcoming season, which promises to be even more demanding. Now, one point that cannot be ignored: would James McAtee be able to fit immediately into Newcastle's starting midfield? That's the question dividing opinions. On one hand, Howe relies on a strong and established midfield. Bruno Guimaraes is a key part of the system. Joelinton brings physical strength and versatility, and Sandro Tonali, despite his ups and downs, is a player of very high technical quality. In this scenario, McAtee would have to earn his place with consistency and patience, something Willock hasn't managed this season. Yet at the same time, the City youngster has a different style, more offensive, more direct, and that might be exactly what's missing in the current squad. The direct comparison between McAtee and Willock makes this clear. Although Willock has started more Premier League matches, McAtee has better stats in shots per game, successful dribbles and key passes, even playing in a team where competition is even tougher. This shows he has the potential to contribute more offensively, something Newcastle has been seeking to diversify their style of play. Bringing McAtee in could offer new dynamics to the midfield, with more fluidity and unpredictability in attack. By the way, if you're enjoying this detailed analysis and want more content like this straight to your feed, take this moment to subscribe to the channel. Your subscription helps us tremendously to maintain this investigative work, research and delivery of relevant content for Newcastle supporters. And trust me, there's a lot coming this transfer window that you won't want to miss. Back to the topic. There's another interesting point about this possible swap: the financial impact. As McAtee is a City Academy player, any fee made from his sale would be pure profit for the club. This means Manchester City might be more open to negotiating, even without driving a big auction. For Newcastle, who aim to stay within financial fair play rules, it's a smart way to refresh the squad without compromising the budget. Now, about Willock. It's unavoidable to recognize he hasn't been able to replicate his good performances from previous seasons. His frequent injuries, combined with fierce competition, have caused his form to drop, and his playing time has become increasingly scarce. Crystal Palace's offer could be an interesting exit for both player and club, opening space for new talents and providing some wage relief. Meanwhile, McCarthy is still awaiting a decision. The player wants more game time and may see Newcastle as a perfect opportunity to take the next step in his career. Working with Eddie Howe, who has a track record of developing young talents, could be an extra attraction. Also, playing alongside names like Bruno Guimaraes and Joelinton could further raise his technical level. If you've followed English football for a while, you know opportunities like this are rare. Players like McCarthy with high potential, limited minutes and a hunger to grow, often explode when given the right environment. And Newcastle, with its passionate fan base, modern infrastructure and growing ambition, could be that place. What remains now is to follow the next chapters of this story, which promises to shake up the summer transfer window. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, now is the time. Here you will always find the freshest news, deep analyses and revealing behind the scenes of Newcastle United. Your subscription is what allows us to keep delivering exclusive, direct and no-nonsense content, keeping you always well informed about your club. The possible arrival of James McCarthy and departure of Joe Willock might seem like a simple swap on paper. But the truth is this move represents a change in philosophy at Newcastle. It signals a club that is looking to the future, that understands the value of youth, intensity and renewal. Above all, it shows the board is alert to market opportunities and ready to make a competitive leap. The saga between Willock, McCarthy, Newcastle and Manchester City is far from over. But one thing is certain, moves like this don't happen by chance. There's a plan underway, and the coming days could be decisive for the future of the black and white midfield. Stay tuned, supporter, because when the official news breaks, you'll already know exactly what it means.